Hey guys, and welcome back to the Blue Podcast Network. As you can see from the colour of the lights, this is the Red Show, and this seems to be the dream team on the Red Show right now, doesn't it? Henry, Lloyd, Jamie, and me.
Well, 3 or 4.
Yeah, you're not involved. I mean, bro, you set me up for that. So
that was perfect. Absolutely perfect.
That was so easy. It's so easy. Anyway, today we're doing something a little bit different to what we've been doing the last 2 times. We are doing a top 10, courtesy. We are not stealing this from Match of the Day. We are.
Yeah, we are. We've got. They have their Match of the Day top 10 of everything book. So we've got a few top 10s that we can go through, courtesy of me bringing the book in. So we've got the 10 candidates that they use to declare their list, and we're going to give you our ultimate list of the top 10 Premier League managers of the Premier League era.
I think, as I said, last week, if we don't scrap by the end of this, it's not a good show. Just putting it out there. Because
Lloyd, who are the 10 managers? Not in no particular order.
Right, the 10 are Sir Bobby Robson, Wenger, Klopp, Ancelotti, Ferguson, Pep, Ranieri, Benitez. Have I missed anyone?
Dalglish. Sir Alex.
And
Sir Alex.
Yeah, Sir Alex. And I think that's everyone. Did I say Pep?
Yeah,
That's everyone. That's the lot.
So basically, if your manager's not named in this list, don't come at us. We're using somebody else's list.
Yeah.
The whole point is that we're using their lists.
I don't want.
We couldn't be able to get a
I
list.
don't want to hear Pochettino, guys. Come on.
No,
Didn't win anything.
Absolutely not. Didn't win a single thing.
Yeah.
Alright, so the way this is going to work is we're going to go from 10th to 1st. Each time we're going to hold up our boards with the manager's name on it. And let's kick things off with
We'll
number
give
10.
a reason each at least.
I feel like
we will.
I feel like number 10 is going to be our most chilled out one. I feel like we all can kind of agree on this one, or it's going to be very. But you can understand why someone's gone for that name.
And bear in mind, this is just Premier League.
Yeah, so it doesn't include achievements outside of the Premier League or pre-Premier League
Cool. I've got it.
or Champions League.
Yep.
Yep.
Ready?
3, 2, 1. Sir Bobby Robson.
So Bobby Robson.
Rafa Benitez.
Sir Bobby Robson.
I thought we were going to be chill, but never mind.
Right, so we'll start with you then. Let's go.
I just don't. Rafa Benitez has no with Bobby Robson. I feel like he's got the kind of cult following of Newcastle fans, and I know he didn't achieve anything in the Premier League era, but he achieved more as well.
He achieved more outside of England.
Yes, I do agree, and I'm not put Sir Bobby quite high, but I also think the Rafa didn't do anything either.
Yeah, maybe potentially look at our number 9s.
I mean, the only thing with me is, okay, this is coming from a very outsider point of view.
Yeah.
I know Rafa Benitez, and I don't know for the Premier League at least.
He's a bit older, Sir Bobby Robson.
Yeah,
but also for the Premier League, he's spoken about less outside of, outside of Europe for the Premier League or outside of England, specifically for the Premier League. He's not spoken about that much. So
he had that one moment where he was going to win the league with Newcastle, and then got rattled by Sir Alex, and then lost the league.
That's what I mean. That's what outside of
Sir Bobby Robson,
isn't it?
That's the other one. That's what's his face. That's not the manager you're thinking.
Oh no, that's is that Keegan?
That's
Kevin
Keegan.
Keegan.
So Bobby Robson is a legend, and to be fair, a lot of the things that he did came either outside the Premier League or before the Premier League existed, which is fair enough. But he still brought together the people of Newcastle and has that kind of cult following in England. Whilst Rafa, Liverpool fans hate him because he went to Chelsea. He didn't do anything at Chelsea, and then he was at Newcastle where he got that cult following for a brief time, but he wasn't he didn't win anything. He didn't progress Newcastle anywhere. He got them up and kept them up, which is an achievement for a team which isn't challenging for the Premier League. But Newcastle are bigger than that.
I wouldn't say we hate him. I think a lot of Liverpool fans still really like Rafa Benitez, even though he went to Everton. I think they actually.
And he went to Everton.
Some people even like him even more than when he went to Everton. He did absolutely terrible. So
yeah, true.
They like him
when he
even
went
more.
to Chelsea, there was a lot of animosity.
There was a little bit, but then again, I think
it's a big Premier League team.
I'm not necessarily the only teams who I'm fussed with. If let's say a manager of ours left and then came back 5-6 years later, like he joined 3-4 years was it afterwards, something like that. It was a little bit of a gap. The only teams I'm really fussed about is if he ever joined Manchester United, to be totally honest. If a manager goes from Liverpool to Manchester United, that is where you cross the line.
So Klopp goes to us in 6 years.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say here on the list. You look at, for example, Mourinho, where he's gone Chelsea, United, Spurs.
He still loved at Chelsea, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, this is my point.
Yeah,
probably not for Spurs at least,
No.
but that's my point. Going from Liverpool, Chelsea, Newcastle, it's a bit different.
It's different. I think it's different for managers.
My one question is this: what has Rafa won in England? Did he get a Premier League for either of you? Because I can't.
No, but I think he won some domestics.
He wins some cups.
I think FA Cup.
Yeah.
I want to
but
say.
I'm not sure if Sir Bobby Robson did.
No, Bobby Robson, I don't think.
I'm not certain.
I think that with Sir Bobby Robson, it's a lot of a recency bias, and it's a very difficult one for us to pick, as we are
100%.
all born after the year 2000.
I've never seen.
Well,
never seen him manage.
after the year 2000.
Never seen him manage at all.
But 2009.
I mean, again, if this was going based on outside of England, pre-Premier League, I would be putting him a lot higher than this.
If it was everything, I'd say he's won more. Because
stats. Let's have a look.
But also, I think outside of England in general,
I think it's also just his age as well.
Yeah, people don't recognise it. He deserves his flowers for a lot of other things.
Yeah.
But honours him. He never won a Premier League. In all fairness, he did not win a Premier League.
Did he win
FA
any FA Cups or?
Hang on, bear with me. Let me get his Wikipedia page up.
So that's reliable.
Okay, I'll go on Transfermarkt then.
Either one.
Yes, he has some stuff. He has an FA Cup at the very least. I can see there, but I'm going to look it up.
Okay.
Obviously, he was Fulham, and then went to Ipswich, and then England. He was England manager as well.
He was, yeah.
Right.
Obviously, that was before the time, but it is something to be considered. Where the fuck is the? Oh, there it is. Hang on. Honours. Here we go. So, he won a UEFA Cup, but that was
pre-Prem.
They're not included.
FA Cup in 77-78.
So it's still before Prem.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, he's
which discredits.
Unfortunately,
which
he won the Ipswich Town, which again is an achievement in itself.
100%.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong, he's decorated.
I think are we all agreed that it's Bobby Robson 10th and then Rafa 9th?
Yeah.
Are we all agreed with
Well,
that?
let's do number 9.
I think we'll go.
What are your guys' number 9s? Because I'm thinking it's we're arguing over who's 10 and who's 9. It could be either way around.
That's what I was gonna say, but we'll.
Hang on. What happened? Not enough hands.
Spell it right.
It's gonna be. So it's this camera.
Hang on. Sorry.
So you've got Sir Bobby 9th.
Yes.
And as everyone else has got Benitez 9th.
Yeah. Exactly. So it doesn't really matter.
Well, yeah, because these two are the only two who never won a Premier League.
That's what I was
list,
gonna
right?
say. From here, we're gonna start to disagree.
I think
probably,
obviously because Alan and them lot are a lot older. I think Sir Bobby in their list was up at 8th, and they had a couple other names below.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I still think Benitez a solid manager, but he did have his ups and downs. Everton. I mean, I thought he did well at Newcastle personally. When he was at Newcastle, I thought he did a really good job with them.
He never left. He got sacked every time. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
you might be right.
I can't remember how it ended with Liverpool. To be totally
he
honest,
won the Europa League with us. I'm pretty sure
he did.
Yeah,
but
once again, wouldn't count for the.
But
didn't he?
And he won a Champions League with us and stuff.
I'm thinking of Brendan Rodgers when he got sacked and Jamie Carragher touched up Thierry Henry.
No, Thierry Henry touched up Jamie Carragher.
Oh, right, that was it. Sorry, the other way around.
It wouldn't matter.
But I thought that was Rafa, but no, this was Rafa was before that. Yeah.
Anyway, on to number
so we'll go
8.
Again, who is my number 8? I'm gonna have to look this up again because I've got an awful memory.
I'm only doing this because I think the person in 7th's achievement is more impressive.
I think I might be on the same wavelength as you.
I am going to annoy you with something. Not now, but later.
I've just seen who you're writing down, and you're not going to annoy me for it.
No, this time.
Okay,
No, I'm happy with
3, 2, 1.
Ancelotti.
He is. I would go as high as saying he's one of the greatest managers of all time.
I think he's.
But not for something
in the Premier League.
Not for something he's done in England.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
You went with Sir Kenny.
I've gone with Sir Kenny,
which is surprising.
I disagree with you there. What he's done in England is included in why he's one of the best managers of all time because he's won it everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think it's impressive.
I think the reason I've put him in 8th is because
also,
his achievements are bigger outside.
That 2008 side was so good.
Well, yeah, no.
It was one of the best Premier League sides of all time.
I'm more impressed by his time at Everton, if I'm honest.
I'm surprised he even went to Everton, to be fair.
Everton were awful, and he managed to make them a really
He brought in James Rodriguez. I don't
Alan.
know how that ever happened.
Well, now he's linked...
And Alan as well. Alan. How is Alan...
James is now linked with Ipswich Town for a £1 million fee, but...
Yeah, but that's because he ended up in São Paulo in Brazil.
Yeah.
£1 million is a lot of money for us.
Yeah.
So... that's about 7.
It shouldn't be because those football clubs are massive and historical, and they should be a lot higher.
No,
up.
well,
let's
okay,
talk.
so, yeah.
Talk Kenny.
So Kenny.
Why have you gone with Sir Kenny? Because I thought you would be the person putting him highest.
No,
Somehow it's gonna be
I think obviously what he achieved with Blackburn that year when they won the league,
Oh no, it's
which
not.
is of like multiple years before I was even born.
Yeah.
But that's a really good achievement. Don't get me wrong, really good achievement.
Impressive.
I think it's impressive. I think it is impressive. Don't get me wrong. I just think overall throughout his Premier League career, when he came to Liverpool, it was towards the end of his tenure, and really he won us a Carling Cup, which was the first ever trophy I ever saw. So that was nice. We beat Cardiff City on penalties in the final. We beat Cardiff City, but no, I just think Ancelotti. I mean, he won an FA Cup, didn't he? There as well, and then of course he won the Premier League title. I just think if I was going to pick a manager's achievements with a team, one team or the other, I'd pick Ancelotti's team because I think it was a better side.
Yeah.
Better side.
But I just thought that the way that Blackburn won was more impressive.
I think it's impressive. Yeah, don't get me wrong,
Alan
it's
Shearer's
impressive.
only Premier League title, and also
there's some players in that team as well.
if that Blackburn
Shearer,
team,
Shearer and Sutton.
Yeah.
It was a brilliant front two.
but if you're saying that the Chelsea team was better than that Blackburn team, surely that should count against him because
I don't
you
necessarily.
went with a worse team.
I don't necessarily think is it necessarily a worse team though.
But that's what you just said. I thought.
Yeah, but I still think, even if it is a slightly worse team, I still think that Blackburn team is really good. I mean, you look at the names in the list. Tim Sherwood was in.
So you're
midfield.
saying that you think the Ancelotti Chelsea
I
side
think an FA
better.
Cup potentially would edge it out for me.
Fair.
What I saw under as I said, not really watched much of Blackburn 1990s. Saw a little bit more of
fair enough.
I mean,
Chelsea.
he also came
time
back to
period as
Liverpool
well.
Well, yeah, no, it's
Time
so
period is a
interesting
thing
because I think
in-
if you're probably talking to my dad or someone and he had to compare these two teams, he'd probably say, well, maybe as you guys have gone, but I want to base it off of what I've
fair
seen
enough.
more or less.
I mean, Sir Kenny was also he came in and steadied the ship at Liverpool when they were in the bin a bit pre-Klopp. He was which manager was it? Rafa
way
actually?
before Klopp.
it was
way
No,
before.
but which it was
way before
which
Klopp.
manager got sacked and then he came in and steadied the ship? Was it?
Roy Hodgson.
Oh wow, it was that long ago.
Yeah.
Okay, cool,
You make
right.
Robson's,
I thought it might be Rafa,
Robson's
actually.
noughties, bro.
Fair.
Yeah.
So should we?
Yes,
Damn, that was ages ago. I didn't realise it was that long ago. Fuck
bro.
no. I'm old.
Get your
Jesus.
stats right. Number 7.
Should we head to 7? Yeah.
Because I think this is going to be a similar kind of.
It's gonna be the
scenario.
similar
It's
thing.
gonna be the same thing, I think, as before.
Yeah.
Just wait for him to write it down.
Yeah, it's a shame with that Ancelotti because, like I say, he is one of the best
One
of
of
all
the
time.
best of all time.
Yeah.
But
Kenny
it's
Dalglish.
We've all
his
gone
Madrid
down.
days that
Yeah.
really do it for me
Yeah,
personally.
I think
but-
it's the same
Maybe,
reason.
maybe in hindsight, I could easily switch them around.
I just think you can see 50-50, right? You can see either one.
It's we so far.
I don't think we've had any
Pretty
terrible.
around
I don't think we've had any
nobody's
terrible
having
shouts.
fights
Have
just
we?
yet.
We've not had any
Yeah.
terrible.
We're gonna get
shouts.
there. Trust
gonna
me,
get
we're
there.
gonna
Yeah.
get there.
I think I've
So-
got my number 6.
We're going 6 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Cool. Let's do this.
I thought I put him a lot higher than I did actually. No, I can't put him any higher than that. Okay, cool. We're not gonna fight at this one. I thought we were.
No, I
Okay.
mean all 3 of these in the row are pretty much. It depends on what. The one league title, Ranieri, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ranieri.
Yeah. It's
think
just a more impressive.
pure-
I
Premier
think it's
League.
impressive.
Because
Yeah.
it's that Leicester team. Like
Yeah.
the
What
I'm
quality of the team has an impact, and if you're winning
the
with
value of that team's
like-
probably less than it was to Chelsea and
well,
It's
Blackburn
incredible.
team
well,
back then.
if you look at that Blackburn team, I'd say that I'd put that around the level of maybe a Villa or a Tottenham winning Premier League, like that good quality
Yeah.
team, not known for winning titles, but a good quality team. This is like fucking Southampton winning.
But I think also the time period, once again, you've got a period where Man City are probably starting to dominate, and then you just see this Leicester
They,
team
they,
that
they,
came
were,
out
they
of
were lucky there was a
nowhere.
bit of an off season for Chelsea, City.
I think
United.
United,
everyone other
everybody.
than pretty much was it
Spurs.
Arsenal,
Spurs.
Tottenham, and
well, Arsenal came second.
yeah, it
No,
was
they didn't. Oh yeah,
yeah, it
Arsenal
was
did.
yeah. So
they
it was
did, yeah.
it was Leicester, Arsenal, Tottenham. So
Because Tottenham bottled it
Yes.
big time.
Yes.
I think Arsenal did as well. Arsenal were at Christmas. They
no,
were
Spurs.
no
Leicester were top.
And we finished below Southampton that season.
Yeah.
We finished 8th place.
I think yeah. No, it was just it was a strange season.
I know your pain.
But
But
at the same time, we can't take away
That's why
from
we stole half the players.
what he did with that team. What was ridiculous.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
100%. It was absolutely insane. Like the goals that Jamie Vardy was scoring. Remember, he
Oh,
scored
mate.
a volley from like
The volley against Liverpool.
40 yards out. I was like, what in that?
Yeah.
It's just unheard of. And like the goal scoring run he went on, he broke the record, didn't he? I remember
Against
it being on
us.
the newspaper.
Yeah.
The newspapers. That was the massive thing
Mm.
of him on the back pages.
I
Yeah.
think the only team they didn't beat the only like top 16 they didn't beat was Arsenal. Other than that, they'd beaten at least one of every.
Oh yeah,
because
Arsenal beat them in the last minute, didn't they?
Yeah, Arsenal beat them on the opening day in the last minute, and then beat them like 1-0. So it was close, but they beat at least every one of the other like top 6 teams.
And that's when Olivier Giroud hate at Arsenal was at an all-time high. Because a lot of fans said he cost them the league title because of all the missed chances. Blamed a massive amount of him on that.
Ironically, next season he's then the best player.
Quickly changes. Football quickly changes.
All right, so we go.
It's squeaky
number 5.
It's squeaky bum time now, so we're on to 5. This is where I think we're going to start fighting. This is the one, I reckon. Because let's be honest, right? All these managers are incredibly close. Apart from number 1.
I think you're saying this because I think you're going to put someone that I think is so much higher up on the list.
Yeah, probably.
Because your football knowledge is
I'm
shocking.
actually scared. Right, 3, 2, 1.
Klopp.
Jose.
What?
You're a fucking idiot.
No, I'm not
you are
taking that.
so dumb.
No.
It's gotta be.
You are so thick.
It's got to be. He was great. Klopp, nah.
No.
The way that Liverpool were.
Brother,
The way that Liverpool were.
15
He's
goals.
won one
I think.
title. Nah.
I think
Would I rather have
Jose's top 3.
in terms of English
Jose's top 3.
in terms of English trophies? Would I rather have Mourinho's lot or Klopp's lot? I'd rather have Mourinho's lot.
Mourinho
That's why I've
all
gone
day.
for
Mourinho all day.
But this could be very different if there was no Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
We could be sat here saying Liverpool have 4 Premier League titles. For me...
But then if we had no Sir Alex Ferguson, you could say Chelsea had so many.
That. Yeah, it's
But
true.
we still had got
It's
more
very
titles.
true.
Even Arsenal you had as well.
And
with
Arsenal,
Wenger,
but we still got more titles.
So
I mean, but Jose's managed my club and Klopp hasn't, and I still would put Jose.
Jose's done more.
Jose has done
One
incredible.
of Jose's biggest achievements is getting that shocking United side to second place.
He didn't win a Premier League that season, though, did he? So
Yeah, but still won
also
loads at
even,
Chelsea.
Even at Tottenham, he didn't.
yeah, I'd say it's very close at the top.
he didn't
but
do bad at Spurs.
He didn't
either.
do bad at Spurs. He did pretty well.
I'd still
given the team he was given and the position they were in.
I'm not saying he's a bad manager. I just think that what Klopp inherited from that Liverpool team, where it was to where he got it to.
It's an outstanding achievement what Klopp did. Simple as that.
Yeah. But that's why he's in 5th.
Yeah, but
Incredible.
I
But
think it doesn't
if he
change
had
anything.
won more, then he would be higher up on the list. The way that I've viewed this, would I rather right now have Jurgen Klopp or Jose Mourinho as a manager? I would rather right now have Klopp, but I'm basing this off of how
if it
much
was
how much
2005
Yeah.
Mourinho.
It's a very different
prime
debate,
Mourinho,
isn't it? It's a
prime
very
Mourinho
different debate.
Yeah,
joke.
yeah.
It
You
always
know,
collapsed after 3 seasons as well. Longevity has to take a part of this. Like Klopp
Yeah,
did it for
no, I massively-
years.
But he's
No.
also done it in 2 stints at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I massively,
He did,
as
and
I
he
said,
ditched
Yeah.
you all.
I just think the
collapsed.
trophies let him down from being inside the top 4 outs. If we were including the Champions League and getting to 2 Champions League finals, then maybe I could have had him above the person who I'm going to put him for.
Same.
But as it's only
I think we're going to have
Here.
a similar thing.
I think I'll have different then.
as it's
Yeah.
only
You're an
England,
Arsenal fan.
as it's only England,
Oh,
I think it
well,
will
that's
be
Yeah, but, yeah.
different.
Everyone ready?
I'm thinking about football as a whole. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So, alright,
Number 4.
3, 2, 1.
Wenger.
I've gone with Mourinho.
Interesting.
I can't see what you've done. You've gone Wenger as
Wenger's
well.
gone with Wenger as well.
Wenger revolutionised football, and if this was 10 years ago, I would be putting him second. Unfortunately, there were just too many good managers that come above him.
Mm-hmm.
Wenger is just... Again, it's like we wouldn't have like modern
Wait,
trading.
so you've got Klopp above Arsene Wenger?
I have, yeah.
Jesus.
Fuck me.
No,
That's
that's
interesting.
ridiculous.
That's very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's always got different opinions, hasn't he? So
No,
Just, and I also think the quality of opposition, like Arsene Wenger had Sir Alex, who was, no, don't get me wrong, Sir Alex is the
he's
best.
probably
We'll
going to
get
be
onto
voted
it.
as the best manager. And you're
Yes.
saying,
But
and Jose Mourinho.
But Pep and Klopp
And
that
Ancelotti.
battle, and he still managed to get a Premier League out of it. Like,
But
I rate Klopp
I
very
think
high,
that-
and the style of football was a lot better under.
I think that
Klopp as
we'll
well.
get to where I put Wenger, but I think the thing with him is
It's the
what
Invincibles.
what he
I think
did.
that's a-
but
but
also,
draws.
if you look at the Invincibles, he bought each of those players. He looked at pretty much each player and formed the team around them.
It's the same as Mourinho did, and then only conceded 15 goals, which I personally think is more impressive.
But I think an Invincible season is just still
Oh yeah,
that. Do you know what I mean?
It's in
So I
my
think-
personal opinion, I think that
We could have this debate for ages.
Yeah.
I think the most impressive thing is whoever gets the most points. For me,
Yeah.
that's the best team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
what it is.
But I think
personally.
also even looking at just. I think the overall thing of like just not losing a game.
Oh,
in
it's
a season-
incredible.
Don't get me wrong. I know the FA Cup's different. I know the like European Cup's different. But I think in the Premier League, I think that's the only reason why I put him higher.
Yeah.
Is because he.
I see it.
Also, as you mentioned, he didn't just revolutionize football, but I think like English football. and the way teams are pressing now.
He changed how Ferguson had to approach.
Yeah, but I think also like the way teams
he made Ferguson better.
The thing is, I also think that Mourinho did the same thing when he came in 2004.
I think the thing is, right, people still have like gegenpress now, for example. That was formed pretty much through him and what he made the team do. At the time, it was looked down upon, but I think that's the thing, because he continued it and then got the invincible season.
Yeah,
it's like. But I think the only thing is the fall off towards the end of his tenure
this is the
at
thing.
Arsenal. I think that's the thing.
He refused to. He got stubborn and he refused to change.
I think if he'd left maybe 2 or 3 years earlier, it could have been that he could get.
So
higher,
who did you put forth? Sorry.
So hold on, I've got a completely different list. So what are we on now? We're on.
We're going to get on to 3, but we're on 4 right now.
So he went.
So
with
4, I went with Mourinho.
You went with Mourinho.
Mourinho.
The main reason for me that I can't put Mourinho over Wenger is because of the terrible record that Arsene Wenger had against Jose Mourinho. Yep. Barely won any matches against him. And I think that has to come a little bit of a way. If you're competing against elite level managers, which he did, and he did that really well against Ferguson on multiple occasions. But in terms of Mourinho wiped the floor with him.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a fact.
I mean, if we go on to 3, I'll just say I've put Wenger at 3.
Yeah,
I've got.
Well,
I've got him
Mourinho
at 3rd.
Yeah,
I think those 3 positions are going to be kind of swapped around between.
Yeah, this is where the fights were going to always happen.
So you've got Klopp.
I've got
3rd.
Klopp in 3rd. Yes.
I just don't. I think
I can't.
fifth.
I
think you
see
also
that.
have to, because
Wenger and Mourinho.
I've made a lot of my points already.
I think
in regards to why I put Klopp 3rd. The other thing with Klopp, the only thing that I've kind of got left to say on him is the way that fans feel about him compared to obviously Arsene Wenger is loved by Arsenal fans, but was hated towards the end because he wouldn't leave. Jose Mourinho has an interesting relationship with Chelsea fans. As a Man United fan, I tell you, I don't much care for him, and Tottenham don't care at all. But Klopp is beloved. He could do anything in that city. Doesn't matter.
Anything.
I don't think that means anything.
I think it does.
I think it does to the.
It does to individuals, not to overall.
It does to the fan bases, and I've had to take that out of it.
Yeah.
When doing this,
but this is what this should be, though. This shouldn't be about Klopp's loved more by his fans.
It's about what they've done.
But it does have an impact when it gets tight like this, because I also think that footballing wise, it is close.
I disagree.
I think in terms of a manager, if you want to build a culture at a football club, I think he's arguably the best on the list.
Yeah, but I think that's
incredible. Second's probably better.
Yeah, I think that's
first.
Who do you think?
First and second.
Well, first and second.
Building, I think about building a culture between the fans, and I genuinely don't think there's a better manager on this list.
Is to be considered.
Because he's
at the end of the day,
loved at Dortmund, loved at Liverpool.
That's the thing. It impacts the winning.
But I think also it depends on building a culture at the club as well.
Oh, 100%.
And I think that's why, for example, I've looked at like Wenger. The reason I've got him in 3rd.
The reason I've got him in 4th.
I think the reason I've got him in 3rd as well is at the club when he first joined, he didn't just change, of course, tactics and everything, but actually like the mentality of the
revolutionised
players.
it.
In terms of going to a team, look, you're winning a game, you're not going to lose.
But you could also say that about Mourinho when, if you look at the players that he created in Drogba, Cech,
but I think that's why I've got them.
I think all of these they revolutionised their teams in their own way. It just,
I think you can argue either one in 4th or 3rd.
It's just the differences with Wenger, I think, between everyone else was the nutrition side of it. And that's the actual physical aspect. Before Wenger joined, I think the Premier League it was a lot less, based on sort of statistics, nutrition. As soon as he came in,
it wasn't as competitive.
He wanted to look at that, and that changed the fitness levels 100%. Wise and a lot. And that's probably why Chelsea came about. And then that's what they ended up doing, because they were so solid defensively, which he added. He created a defensive culture at the football club, and it was brilliant.
Again, with Chelsea, it's one of these things where, like, if it hadn't have worked out with Jose, they would have found someone else and they would have won it eventually. They sacked their managers like that, and if someone else had, they could have.
Now they do, but at the time they didn't.
Somebody else could have done that. Another elite manager could have done that job.
Bro,
I completely disagree. Not to the extent that
and also not in fucking prime Wenger and Ferguson.
What I was gonna say.
There were other elite managers.
The thing with
Carlo at the time was somewhere doing something amazing, but in Italy,
I think a decent team at that point.
I think the thing is, right, as you've just said, is when you're looking at a league where you've got prime Arsene Wenger, prime Ferguson, what Mourinho has done, which I will give to him in fairness, is he's come out of pretty much nowhere. I know he did well outside of England, but especially coming to the Premier League is a massive thing, and what he did quickly with that Chelsea
2 seasons
team
in a row
is incredible. I think it's just One of the two.
I still think. I mean, to be fair, on average, Klopp is in 5th anyway.
Yeah.
And I think because you put Mourinho in 5th because you don't know football, it's put Mourinho in 4th. And
well, we're not doing like an ultimate list here. We're just
I've been
debating
calculating
ourselves.
in my head.
Have you now? Okay,
Yeah.
it's not. We're not something. It's not meant to be like that. It's
Right.
not like a thing we win
Why not?
because we're not
Blue
trying to win.
podcast top 10.
We're not trying to win this. It's just
No,
a debate.
it's not
as
top.
to-
No, yeah, it's a debate, and then at the end we have the
But that's not-
average.
No. That's not the point. The point was just to talk about some of the greatest
No, I'm
managers
just
ever.
keeping the average anyway. But yeah,
Has to win.
number 2,
Do we all agree?
I think we
I hope
all
we all
have to
agree.
go the same.
Pep.
Pep.
Yeah.
Well, I've got
As much as I don't like putting Man
No,
United
neither.
manager first, I think you've got to give the plaudits where plaudits are due.
And then write down
Ferguson.
number 1.
We'll quickly
Okay.
write down
I've
number
got-
1.
I've got Pep
I
at
think
second.
it's the amount that's been won by these two managers puts them above everything else, and also like a number of other things. But,
100%.
the only two managers to win a treble.
Yeah.
So I think that in itself is like a puts them in a league above.
2 games away from a quadruple.
I'd say that
revolutionary as well.
I'd say that Ferguson is a better transfer specialist. He had to deal with the majority of the transfers, whilst
He
Pep
is
has a
Arguably the
backroom
best
team.
manager ever. So.
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
exactly.
I
think-
probably would say
I think-
that he potentially is. It's between him and Pep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd also say the Premier League, when Sir Alex was the manager, the Premier League wasn't the best league in the world. It was either the Bundesliga was a lot better, the Serie A was a lot better, La Liga was elite.
It was between two teams. It was between Arsenal or United.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's it.
But when you look at the teams in Europe that Pep has had to go up against, Bayern, these teams aren't bad, but the Premier League is better than these teams are. The Premier League is the best league in the world in this Pep era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, you look at all the managers around the world.
That almost makes it more impressive.
Oh yeah, but the likes of who am I trying to think of here? If you look at the likes of Maresca and what's the Tottenham guy, Ange, as well, like you see the amount of people copying his tactics. Like Sir Alex, I don't think anybody else copied his tactic necessarily. Sorry, it wasn't a thing where it was like, yeah, like I want to play at Man United. It was just like all out attack, like go for it, try and win, be passionate. It wasn't a tactical thing.
I think one thing I would say as well is I think that one of the main reasons I've got Ferguson first is because Pep has financial backing.
Yeah.
Whereas at the time, Ferguson did not have that.
No,
or
not
at
to
least,
the extent.
don't get me wrong, he had money at the time.
Yeah.
But if you look at that now, Pep can pretty much go and buy who he wants.
Yeah.
It's like
Ignoring fair play, if he just wants actually to go out and buy anyone, he pretty much can.
Yeah.
Whereas Ferguson had to build a team.
It was him and David Gill just kind of running things on a limited budget, especially when the Glazers came in. It got even worse.
I actually think that the reason Ferguson is better is more longevity than
That's the other thing I was going to say.
Well,
than
in this league.
financial backing.
It's getting close. It's getting too close for my liking.
Yeah.
I need him to
Because
fuck off now.
There's a.
We're done now.
I mean, we're gonna go back to the legendary Dutch man when it comes to Pep as well, Johan Cruyff, because it's the school of Pep, but it was the first school of Cruyff, and I think soon. I mean, you've got the likes of Arteta challenging for the Premier League, who is comes from the school of Pep. You've got Maresca coming in at Chelsea.
School of Pep.
I'm not
School
sure.
of Pep.
Was he under
Ten
Pep?
Hag, School of Pep.
Yeah.
Was it binded with it?
So, I think
Slot's the only
in a
one.
few years' time, when there's some of the most elite managers in the world
are doing it
across
his way.
Europe are doing
because
it
of him.
because of him. That's when it swings, I think.
I mean, this is
I
personal.
think give it 5 years and
Yeah.
5 to 10 years.
This is personal, and it's not got a factor on whether or not who finishes higher. But it is killing football a bit for me. I don't like this whole inverted fullback
for me. It's
and,
getting
like,
a bit boring.
passing all round.
I think there's a couple of things. I think
Yeah.
We need to see screamers. We don't see any long shots
The
anymore.
last one you've seen realistically is Company's one in the Premier League at least.
I don't think there was a goal. I'm trying to think if there was a goal from outside the box in the Premier League. I don't think
Really?
there was.
What, last season?
No, this game week. The last
Yes,
game week just gone.
Saka's one was outside the box.
Was it outside the box?
That's it.
That's the.
And then there was the Eze disallowed one. But other than
But
that,
you
no.
think of how many goals there were, and they have one outside
Oh yeah, no.
the
Look
box.
at like Prime Gerrard shoots from
No,
like
exactly.
40 yards.
Defensive.
Realistically,
People are getting too good at defending, and it's starting to annoy me a little bit.
I think the other thing as well is
I think it's also
I think also in the Premier
there's
League,
there's a lot that's wrong that causes that, but I think a lot of it does come down to the fact that everyone realizes that Pep's tactics work and people are trying to replicate it.
It's a bit like, you know, where like you play like FIFA and you find a formation that's pretty good for you, and it's like everyone's going to use the same.
Exactly.
And I think the other thing as well, I think it's getting a bit boring. It's making games less interesting.
Agreed.
I think when you've got two teams just trying to like pass round the whole time, it's getting a little bit tiring.
Yeah. I think there was I watched James Lawrence Alcott? He goes on Sky sometimes.
Yeah.
And I watched a video on him, and Pep was using a tactic that he used 7 years ago in the Premier League on Chelsea at the weekend. Like, in terms of trying to nullify Chelsea's press from 7 years ago. Like, the fact that he's made football, he's completely gone, oh, you know what, we can play a 3-2-4-1. I mean, who even thinks of that in the first place to even get to that?
That formation pisses me the fuck off.
It's ridiculous. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant because who thinks of it?
I miss the days
who's it come from as well?
I miss the days of attacking fullbacks who bomb on and attack the byline and get crosses in. I miss the days where you can have a midfielder in there like Roy Keane who can just go around and kick people.
But in today's game, you get completely opened up.
I want to see a bullet header from like Van Persie or something, or from Rooney. Overhead kicks. I want to see. I want to see Gerrard slip and someone go to clean on goal. I miss that. That's exciting. Exciting things that get you off your seat, things that get you screaming about your club.
I told you I was going to be something about this.
And I do think that's a very good point to end it.
That's why Sir Alex is top.
Fair enough. Well, maybe we'll do this again in 6-7 years' time if we're still doing this.
Yeah, and things might be different. Hopefully not.
Wait till we do players, then we're going to actually start fighting.
Well, when we did the Premier League, we'll talk about it in a minute.
We'll talk about it. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, for watching The Red Show. Check out all the other channels, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.